Hello everyone, my name is Benny R. Ferguson Jr. and welcome to this episode of The Strategy of Brilliance. Today's topic is the bees, their habits, their patterns, and what do they have to do with you? Okay, so here's the premise. The story is that I took some kids to the park and we had an excellent time. They played, they had fun. It was my daughter and some of her friends. And before we left, we decided to walk the trail. And what we didn't know was on that trail there was a beehive that was actually inside of one of the trees about head level to me. The kids, of course, they're not as tall as I am. I'm not that tall, but they're not as tall as I am. And we were walking, and they got past the bees, but the bees saw them. We were making a lot of noise, laughing and hanging out. And so I was the one to get stung, right? And we got out of there, but in the process of getting stung, I swatted at the bees and I swatted my glasses off and lost my lens. So long story short, I came back the next day looking for my lens. Couldn't find it. Came back the next day after that, even more prepared. I had more clothes on. I had a whole outfit on, and I had sprays, and I got down on the ground and I inched up to the point where I was directly in front of the beehive, and they didn't see me. And the reason they didn't see me was because I was quiet, I was being still, and I ended up sitting directly in front of the beehive, and they were huge bees, and they were coming out of the beehive, flying up to wherever they were going. They were coming back in, coming and going, and they had a pattern that I observed over probably more than an hour that I was there. And here's the thing. We as human beings have patterns as well. We have patterns of thought. We have patterns of feeling. When certain things happen, we feel a certain way automatically. We have patterns of behaviors. You have patterns all throughout your life. Your routines in the morning, your routines at work, your routines in the evenings when you get home. And these things can either be propelling you forward into greater success, or they can be condemning you and keeping you exactly where you are. The bees, the pattern of the bees kept them from even seeing me right there in front of their hive. A danger with sprays that could kill all of them. Are your patterns killing you? Or are your patterns projecting you into greater success? This is the question. This is all I want you to think about. The pattern. Your connection to the bees. They didn't even see me. Are your patterns keeping you from seeing possibility and potentiality that's right in front of you? Think about it. My name is Benny R. Ferguson Jr. Thanks for hanging in, watching this episode of The Strategy of Brilliance with me. Be sure to like, follow, or subscribe depending on where you're watching this video. You are now in the only game that there is, and that's the game of mastering your mind.